Hi, my name is Vanessa. I live in a van. I know, it doesn't look like a van, right? But I live in a van, and I've been sleeping, eating, and cooking in this van for going on, I think, about 2 months. I am still transitioning from home life to van life, which means I still have an apartment, but the apartment basically now is pretty much empty. The only thing I have to get rid of in the apartment is just like clothes and junk, which is the hardest thing to get rid of. But I start transitioning to van life a couple of months ago when somebody stole I was already working on the van, doing a van build, knew I was going to do van life, but someone stole my catalytic converter, and because I don't want anybody else to do anything to my vehicle, I just was like, I'm going to sleep in my vehicle every night. So I started sleeping in my vehicle every night, even though it's not finished, even though it's not ready. So before I started sleeping in the van, I did not have a propane stove. I did not have anything set up the way it is. There was no organization to it at all. It was not like the way it is now. But I am here because recently, I live in Texas. I am a Texan and born and raised in Texas. And recently, Texas has been hit by some storms, a snowstorm. And we got snow. It knocked out all of the power. It knocked out the water supply. And some of us are still without water. And I was actually at my apartment, cleaning out my apartment, and decided to spend the night just in the parking lot. And when I woke up the next morning, snow was everywhere. The power was out in my apartment when I went to my apartment. Luckily, I had charged my portable power supply the night before, so I've been using this ever since the lights went out. There, this is a flash fish portable power supply. I just plug my light up here. All I'm using this for right now is just my lights, but it do have a plug in the back where I could plug something up and use it that way as well. So I've been surviving since the storm came with that as my light. And I've also been surviving with this propane 4-burner stove. I'm able to cook. I'm able to warm water in my pot to wash my dishes. I'm able to just keep a burner on and keep it warm and cozy in here. And some people were saying you don't need a big stove like this, you don't need a big burner like this, but this is what I wanted for my van life because I love to cook, and I was centering my van life journey around the things that I like to do. So it's a good thing that I had already ordered this stove before the storm came, before the storm hit, and now we are able to stay warm, we're able to cook. So what had happened the morning of the storm, when I went into my apartment and the electricity was off, most apartments here in Texas, excuse me y'all, I just got through taking some vitamins and eating a little snack. Excuse me. Most apartments here in Texas are all electricity. So when the electric go off, there is no way to cook. So, of course, there's no way to cook in my apartment, but of course, there's definitely a way to cook in my van. So I was out of butter And all of the stores here were pretty much shut down and closed, and they were closing at 5. So I went ask my neighbor for some butter, and I forgot that that would be a dead giveaway, that I must have a place to cook. And my neighbor was like, sure, here's some butter, but you got somewhere to cook? And I was like, yeah. And I got in my van, y'all, and I boogity out of my apartment complex, because I was about to go in my car and cook and have some aroma smelling up the place. I did not want nobody to be attacking me. Come knocking on my window. Excuse me, ma'am, can you warm up this piece of toast for me? Excuse me, ma'am, can you warm up this water? So I got the heck out of Dodge. And the temperature went down to 16 degrees. And I did not feel it. Now, let me tell you guys, for my survival mode for this Texas storm, and before the Texas storm, I do not run my stove at night to stay warm. I do not run this stove at night. I only run this stove when I am up, when I am aware, when I am cooking, when I am washing dishes. After I go to bed, I turn my stove off from the stove, and I turn my stove off. I turn the propane off from the propane tank. So I am being extra cautious and safe when it comes to the propane, making sure that I don't have a propane leak. Also, I have a carbon monoxide detector. Even if you live in home life, which I did not have a carbon monoxide detector in home life because I was on all electricity. But if you have a home where you have great gas or propane, get you a carbon monoxide detector. I do have this in the van. As you can see, it says the carbon monoxide level is at 0, and I have it right above the stove, so I'm not in danger of poisoning myself. So that's how I stay warm. That's how I stay safe with the propane. And at nighttime, this is my bed area. This becomes my bed area. At night, I just put my mattress down. And how do I stay warm in 17-degree weather? And I do not run a stove at night. I just have some very good sleeping bags, some very good blankets. I currently have 3 blankets that I put over my bed, and I get under the cover and I put my head under the cover, and I make sure I put on 2 pair of socks, and I sleep with this hat on my head. And I also usually sleep in my clothes, which is usually a long sleeve turtleneck shirt and some long pants and 2 pair of socks. So that is how I am staying warm in 17 and 30-degree weather, which we are not used to in Texas. And I'm staying safe, and I am protecting myself, and I'm not going to blow myself up, and I'm not going to die of carbon monoxide poisoning, because I'm not doing anything that would endanger me in that way. So I just want to encourage people out there that are living in their vans, whether you are living in a state that's in a state of emergency right now with the ice and the snow and the rain, or whether you're living in a state where it's cold at, be safe. Do not run any type of propane at nighttime. Do not run your car all night long. Get under a ton of blankets, and once you get under those blankets and you put on enough layers of clothes, and your feet are the coldest things. If you keep your feet warm, then the rest of your body is going to follow suit. Make sure you have on enough socks to keep your feet warm. Put on enough blankets and tuck in for the night. And once you tuck in for the night, you're going to be fine. Trust me. Trust me. But don't do things that would endanger whether or not you would wake up the next morning, like running your propane all night long, not having a carbon monoxide detector, and anything else that would put yourself in danger and in harm's way. I just want to encourage you guys to be safe out there. Yes, this is a state of emergency. We haven't really experienced this type of weather in a very long time. Some people haven't experienced this type of weather in their lifetime. In Texas, the younger people haven't experienced this type of weather. I'm 53. I think this is the coldest that I ever remember it being in Texas. So I just want you guys to be safe out there. I want you guys to put your health, your safety before anything else. I mean, staying warm, yes, you're cold, but jeopardizing your life to stay warm. Just be safe, you guys. Be safe. Bundle up as many layers of clothes as you possibly can, as many blankets as you possibly can. Do not use propane in an enclosed area, and make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector. And just be safe. I'm living inside of a van. I'm out in the elements, but I've weathered the storm. I don't have on a jacket right now. I have 2 burners running. I'm not cold. When I go to bed tonight, I'm going to turn these burners off, and I'm going to go to bed. And I'm not going to be cold tonight at all. So consider that. And if you have any questions below on how to stay safe during this Texas state of emergency, or in Texas weather, or in weather conditions that you're not used to, just leave them in the comments bar below. Let's converse in the comments bar below. If you see somebody question and you have an answer to it, go ahead and answer their question. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Press that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. After you hit the notification bell, you have to hit always for YouTube to notify you each and every time I upload a new video or I go live. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate you guys so much for tuning into my channel. Bye now.